Hello, good morning students. See, welcome back to our e-learning session and this is your first lecture of chapter number 11 of accounts, bank reconciliation statement. In our last session, I told you about the bank reconciliation statement. See, this is a statement and it is not a financial statement as well as it is not for the stakeholders or the users of the business. It is just for the knowledge of the owner or the business owner or the partners, that is bank passbook and the cash book. Here the difference between these two is because of which reasons is there. Here just we know the reasons only for that, and we are doing this statement, we are making this statement because of knowing only the reasons for the changes in the balance of the passbook as well as the cash book. Okay, what is that we will discuss in our this lecture. See that introduction. First of all, read that introduction and then we will discuss about the bank reconciliation statement. First of all, read that. Okay, I hope you read that. Now see, I am reading the introduction. Double column cash book or triple column cash book is prepared to record the cash and bank reconciliation statement or bank transaction. Right? In the current scenario, bank services are very important for any trade or business. To pay or to receive the amount of payment and recovery through the bank is also very popular. In modern age, quantum of the transactions with the bank have also increased manifold. See here, the very use of big bank here is nowadays is very important. Now cash transactions is also banned by the government because the cash transactions is here. The government is also say that we want a cashless transactions always. Right? Only the online transactions, not cash, not check, not anything. Only the online transactions we want, and that's why they increase all these things. Okay? See that? For the transactions with or through bank, when any trader opens a bank account, bank gives a passbook or a statement to him. What is that? See here, whenever I open an account with the bank, any of the bank, then bank give me the passbook or the statement for the full month transactions. Whatever the transaction is there during the any of the month, that is January, February, March or so on, right? Give me, see, bank give me the statement after the end of the month, that is in the next month. See, if I want the transactions of January month, then bank give me the statement or the bank make the entry in the passbook in the February month, first day of February or first week of February, right? So here bank give me a statement, bank give us a statement or a passbook. In this passbook, different transactions that have been effected by the trader with the bank are recorded. Yes, a passbook is the copy of the trader's account prepared by the bank in his books. See, I am making the transactions with bank and I am recorded that transaction in my cash book, as well as bank doing transactions with me. Bank record that transactions in my passbook. Right? Got this? What is see? What I want to explain you here? Whatever I am recording here, see, whatever the transaction is there. See, transaction is only one, but the different side recording. I am recording the transactions with bank recording transactions with me. Both are single. only one transactions, but it is recorded two different persons. But see, I am recording for myself, in my cash book. Here, whatever I am paying or whatever I am receiving in with the check, right? So if whatever the amount is there, that is I am recording, that is comes in or goes out into the bank, I am recording into the cash book, and that is also recorded by the bank in my passbook. Okay, then see that the bank fills up the details in the passbook to its customer. Bank write down all the transactions by the customer here in the passbook. Okay, and I am writing down, I am the customer of the bank, that's why I am writing out my transactions in my cash book. And now we want to just tally these two. If it is correct, then it's okay. If not, then find out the reason why it's not correct, because the transaction is one. See, for example, I am receiving a check of rupees 10,000 from Ramesh. That is, I am recording, that is, I am directly deposited into my bank account. So, in my cash book, what I am making the entry, cash comes in or check comes in, that's why I am recording on the debit side, right? I am recording that check received and writing out in the bank column. That is deposited into the bank. Bank now what is doing by bank? Bank deposited that check amount, that is 10,000 into my account, and bank credit that because bank give us this 10,000 from this person, right? So here bank is credit this 10,000 in my passbook and I am debit that amount in my cash book. So here one transaction is there, but it is recorded by the two different person. First is the trader, second is the bank. Bank is now here credited and I am debited that amount. Okay, so this is the one transactions, two entries. Okay, and now if the entry, any of the entry, by mistake I am doing not the entry for these transactions, then or by mistake bank not doing the transactions, that means here we want to find out the errors or mistakes by doing this bank reconciliation statement. Why this amount is not debited, why this amount is not credited. This is the purpose of doing this bank reconciliation statement. Okay, see that, read the next paragraph. See, if a trader has maintained a bank account in his ledger, if I am writing out my cash book in my ledger, then or has maintained a bank column in the cash book to record the bank transactions, the balance of bank account is worked out at regular time interval. That means daily the bank balance we don't find out. Whenever we are writing out in the cash book, see, we already did the cash book. We did what? 1st June to 30th June. That means full month. We are recording all the transactions of month of June in the cash book, and then carry forward the balance of cash as well as bank balance to the next month, that is on 1st July. So here they want to say about that, if a trader has maintained a bank column in a cash book or a sub ledger's bank account is maintained by the trader, then the balance of bank account is worked out at regular time interval, that is weekly, fortnightly or monthly. We just record the fortnightly and monthly in the cash book. Okay, generally if the trader and the bank both parties have recorded all the transactions correctly and without any mistake, the balance of the bank account in the ledger of the trader and balance as per passbook should tally. Yes, if I am recording whatever the transaction on the debit side, bank record that transaction on the credit side, and if I am recording all the bank transaction on the credit side, bank recorded that on the debit side, then all the transactions are recorded by both the parties. In short, In short, both the parties, all transactions recorded at for one time, and that's why if it is done, then here no mistakes, no any problem. Thus the balance be balanced by the trader as well as balance in the passbook must be tallied, right? If the balance is tallied, then there is no problem. Here, why we are doing bank reconciliation statement? Because the balance of passbook as well as balance of cash book is not tallied. Some transactions is not recorded or by mistake recorded or error is there, then here the tally, and then here the balance of the passbook as well as the balance of the cash book is not tally, and that's why we are doing a bank reconciliation statement. Okay, but because of the errors committed or omission is recording in the transactions either by the bank or by the trader, not by only trader, by bank also make a mistake. If bank recording that transactions or bank not recording that transactions, that means commission mistakes or error mistake, omission is mistake is there, then we have to then see no any balance is tallied by the trader as well as by the banker. So but because of the error committed or omission is recording in the transactions either by the bank or trader or due to other reasons, if the difference arise between the balance as per the bank account and as per the passbook, bank account in our cash book and bank passbook, difference between these two in the balance, it becomes necessary to find out the reasons of such difference. After detection of the reason, a statement prepared to reconcile the balance as per the bank account and as per the passbook is known as bank reconciliation statement or bank reconciliation only. See here, what is bank reconciliation? The definition of bank reconciliation is given here. See that whenever the transactions is fully made by the mistakes or it is fully omitted, then omitted by trader or by banker, any of the person, right? Or that means here that reasons we have to find out after the end of the month or after the end of the some exact fixed time, that is fortnightly, monthly, whatever the time is there, we have to just see that what is the balance of passbook as per bank statement and what is the balance of cash book bank column. If it is tally, then there is no problem. If it is not tally, then find out the reasons why they are not tally, because the transactions are same. And after finding out the reasons, we have to make one statement for reconciliations of bank balance, and it is called a bank reconciliation statement. Okay, so here bank reconciliation statement, or we can say bank reconciliation only. So read that now. Next two paragraph. Here the two paragraph introduction is over now. So read the next two paragraph. So, bank reconciliation statement is not an account, but it is only a statement. It is not an account, right? So, no debit side, no credit side, only a statement is there, right? It is used in recording the balance as per passbook and balance as per bank account after finding out the causes and the explaining such difference. Here, we have to find out the difference between these two balances. What are the reasons why the balance of cash book, bank column and passbook is not tally? We have to find out the reasons and then write down that reason into the statement, and that is called reconciliation, right? Explain the difference, why the difference is there. We have to explain that difference in the reconciliation statement. Two things are very important to prepare the bank reconciliation statement. First, bank account in the books of the trader, that is cash book, right? And the trader's account in the books of the bank, that is passbook. Passbook means what? Here bank account of the trader, right, in the bank. And what is cash book? Here bank transactions recorded in the cash book, that is in the trader's book, right? One recording by the trader, one recording by the banker. Recording by the banker, that is called passbook. Recording by the trader, that is called cash book. Okay, bank account is trader book is prepared either separately or as bank column is cash book, as we have studied earlier in this chapter of the cash book. If we want to prepare cash book with 3 column, cash, discount, bank, or 2 column, cash or bank, or we can prepare only cash book with the cash or discount account as well as cash book with the bank column only. Okay, so separately we can prepare bank account also in the cash book. Okay, then now let us understand trader's account in the books of the bank, that is passbook. See, the new topic is passbook. Read that first, then we will discuss about the passbook. Now see that passbook means a copy or extract of a trader's account in the books of bank. A passbook therefore is a book or a statement giving information regarding the transactions recorded by the bank in the trader's account in the legal manner maintained by the bank. In the ledger maintained by the bank. That's why when a trader opens an account with the bank, a book given by the bank to record the details of that account is known as passbook. What is the passbook? All the transactions done by the trader with the bank, and bank record that all the transactions recorded by the bank. The transactions doing by the trader recorded by the bank is called the passbook. Okay. So nowadays instead of giving a passbook, the bank gives statement as fixed time interval, which subtitles of the passbook, substitutes of the passbook. See here, what is that? Whenever one book, just like a passbook, is not given by the bank, some bank is given the statement, monthly statement to the trader of the trader of the bank here by the bank. Okay, so here the trader is not taking the time here to find out to make the entry in the passbook. Here directly statement is come to his house or his business place. Okay, so here sometimes some practical or some you can say non-government or private bank is doing this type of statement. Okay, so read that now, next paragraph. When a trader deposit cash or check in a bank, or a bank collect money on behalf of a trader, at the time to give credit of the amount to the trader, bank record it in the credit column of the passbook. See, I told you that if I am depositing any cash or I am depositing any check in my bank account, then bank credit it to my account. Whatever, see, whenever I am receiving any check or if I am depositing any amount to the bank, what I am recording in the cash book here we are recording on the which side? Deposited. That's why debit side, right? Bank account debit to cash account, that is the entry, or you can say bank account debit to the party account, that is the entry. That's why here in the cash book I am recording on the debit side, bank recorded on the credit side. Whatever amount I am depositing or whatever check I am depositing into the bank must be credited. So please underline these two lines. Please, when the trader deposit cash or check into the bank, or bank collects money on behalf of a trader, at that time to give the credit of the amount to the trader. That's why here bank credit that amount to trader's account. Okay, see that? Similarly, when a trader withdraws from the bank or draws a check on the bank, or when bank pays the amount on behalf of a trader, recovers some expense or commissions from the trader, it is recorded by the bank in the debit column of the passbook. Here, whatever pay by the bank on behalf of us, that is check or any amount withdrawn from the bank, or any commission or any expenses done by the bank on behalf of us, that is recorded on the debit side. That means payment. In short, we can say all expenses and payments done by the trader is recorded in the bank by the bank in the debit side, and all the deposit or incomes are recorded on the credit side by the bank in the passbook. Okay. For a bank, trader account is personal account, and therefore the rules of personal account applies to it. That is, as per the rule, debit the receiver and credit the giver. Bank debits and or credits the trader's account in the passbook. Here, on the point of view of bank, I am a person, I am a trader, right? If I am receiving any amount, if I am depositing a check or I am depositing a cash to my account in the bank, then bank record the transactions as per the personal rule. That is, person's account, here I am the person, and person account here is receiver. Bank, in the bank account of that particular person, the amount comes in, right? Or you can say here that particular person is the receiver. That's why debit the receiver account. Or if any amount paid by the bank on behalf of us, that is here I am the, or the trader is the giver. That's why credited to that account. So only that reason here bank consider the trader as a personal account, and rule of personal account is applied here. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Whatever amount depositing, whatever amount or cash or check depositing into the bank, here trader is the receiver. That's why debit his credit his account. Sorry, trader is the giver. That's why credit his account. And if whenever debit the receiver, credit the giver, rule is applied here. Okay. So that next, when he deposit cash in the bank or bank collects any other amounts on behalf of the trader, he becomes giver, and therefore the amount is credited to his account. And only when a trader withdraws cash from the bank, pays for expenses or makes any other payments, a trader becomes receiver, and therefore amount is debited to his account. Okay, so why debited and why credited is given here. Only the rule of personal account is applied here. Okay, now see the specimen of bank passbook is given here. See that and read the 5 points given under that. Please read that first. date particulars, check number, amount withdrawn that is debit, amount deposited that is credit, and balance and sign of the bank officer. Here now in that case sign of the bank officer is not now, and date particulars, check number, amount withdrawn or amount deposited that is debit amount or credit amount is only recorded in the new balance, new passbook, and the balance is also. Okay, now see that date in this column, the date on which the transaction with the bank has taken place is recorded. Particulars in this column, details of the transactions are recorded. See what is the particulars here. Whatever cash is transferred, whatever cash is deposited, or any check is transferred from the bank, that is recorded in a particular column. That means all the main transactions, what is the reasons by doing this, what is the reasons behind doing these transactions is recorded in the particulars column. Cash deposited, cash withdrawn, check deposited, check withdrawn, or check issue, that is recorded, as well as the check number is also given here, recorded in the check number column. Okay, so only the deposited cash or check deposited or check or cash issued or withdrawn is recorded in a particular column. Okay, see that. Amount withdrawn debit rupees, amount deposited credit rupees. That means in this column the amount of the cash withdrawn by the trader as well as amount payment made by the check is recorded. Whatever amount cash withdrawn is recorded on the debit side, as well as check issued is also debited in the passbook debit side. And amount deposited, that means in this column amount of cash and check deposited with the bank is recorded. Amount is interest payable by the bank to the trader, and the amount collected by the bank on behalf of the trader are also recorded in this column. See, in short, any amount given, payment given by the bank on behalf of the trader is debited. Any amount collected by the bank on behalf of the trader is credited. Right? In the debit column only payment is there. In the credit column only income or receivables are there. Okay, now the balance difference, whatever the amount deposited and whatever the amount withdrawn, cash through cash or through check, after that what is the balance that we have to record in the balance column, that bank record in the balance column. After recording the respective transactions, balance amount is the trader's account with the bank is recorded in this column. Okay, so here so easy. And the last point, signature of bank officer. Nowadays it is not important, just read that. Signature is now not important, that's why just read that. And now the next paragraph. In short, we can say that the way in which the trader records the transactions in the bank account or in the bank column of cash book, generally opposite or reverse, underline this particular word, opposite or reverse effect will be given in the passbook. Whatever I am debited, bank is credited. Whatever I am credited, bank is debited. Just reverse effect done by the bank in the trader's account, that is in the passbook. Okay, so here that is the main point. Please underline this word or sentence also. Generally opposite of reserve, opposite or reverse effects will be given in the passbook. That is, if 10,000 cash deposited into the bank, in the bank account, in the bank books of the trader, this column, this amount will be debited to the bank account and credit will be given to cash account. In passbook, this amount will be debited in the cash account and credit will be given to the trader's account. Okay, so here the journal entry is given by the whatever the journal entry done in the trader's book, whatever the journal entry done in the bank book is given here. Just record that, just see that here only the reverse effect is recorded. Whatever I am debited with the bank account debit, if I am recording that bank account debit, bank record that trader accounts credit. Right? If I am recording that bank account credit, bank record that trader's account debit. Okay? So here just reverse entry, or you can say the opposite effect is given by the two parties. Okay. Cash book. Now read that first. Cash book. Now cash book. Traders record all the transactions with the bank in the bank column of cash book. When traders deposit checks received from the customers with the bank becomes the receiver and the bank balance increases. Same way, when bank collects income of the interest or dividend on behalf of the trader, the bank balance increases. Hence, bank account is debited by the trader when the bank becomes a receiver or when bank balance increase. Whatever the amount received by the bank on behalf of us, but amount is now received by the bank. Check deposited, interest is received, dividend is received on behalf of the trader. That is, income is mine. Income is the owner's income, but right now it is not received by the owner, it is received by the bank. That's why bank is the receiver and debit the receiver account. That's why in the cash book, all the amount whatever received by the trader, but it is not directly received, it is received through bank. That means here bank is now receiver. Right now trader is not receiver. Trader, here the bank is the receiver. That's why trader debit that all the amounts, that all the incomes to the bank account, because right now bank is the receiver, bank account debited. Okay, when the trader makes a payment to the creditors or makes payment to any expenses by check, bank becomes a giver and bank balance decrease. Hence the bank account is created by the trader. That these transactions we already discussed in our cash book chapter. Whatever amount is collected or whatever income is collected by the bank on behalf of the trader, that is recorded on the debit side, and whatever payment is done to creditors or for the expenses is recorded on the credit side of bank column, cash book. Right? That we already discussed. This cash book we already discussed in the cash book chapter. That's why here very easy. Cash book prepared by the trader in the ledger is discussed in earlier chapter of the cash book. Okay. Now bank balance and bank overdraft, that we also know about that that we will discuss for the bank balance as well as bank overdraft in that chapter also. In the cash book chapter, what is the bank balance? If the bank has a debit balance, that means debit side total of the bank column is higher than the credit side total, then it is called a bank balance. And if the credit side total of the bank column is higher than the debit side total, then it is called a bank overdraft. What is that? Read that first. Bank balance and bank overdraft. Please read that. Bank balance and bank overdraft. What is that? We already discussed these 2 points in the cash book chapter, but right now we have to write down the definition. That's why here bank balance in the books of the trader means the excess of total on the receipt side, that is debit side, over the total of the payment side, that is credit side of a bank column in a cash book. That means here debit side total is higher than the credit side total, and here the balance is written on the credit side. That balance is called a debit balance. I told you at that time. Again, the new method, new wording is given. Debit side, that means receipt side total is higher than the payment side total, then it is called a debit balance of the bank, or you can say bank balance for the bank. Okay, this difference is known as a bank. Thus, the bank balance means remaining amount of the total debit side after deducting the total of the credit side of the bank column is cash book. That is debit balance as per cash book, or you can say bank account is a bank balance. Debit balance of cash book, or you can say debit balance as per cash book, or you can say bank account is a bank balance. That means bank balance. In short, one word is, if we want to give the answer in the one word, that is bank balance. Okay, when the debit side total is higher than the credit side total, it is called bank balance. When the credit side total is higher than the debit side, it is called bank overdraft. What is that? See that. Similarly, according to the agreement with the bank, a facility to withdraw more amount than bank balance is known as bank overdraft facility. See, this facility is only given by the bank before after make an application by the trader with the bank. See that here, if I am not making any applications with the bank to give this facility, then bank doesn't give me any facility, or bank make a charges to us to pay the higher amount or to give the higher amount check than in my bank balance. Right? What means of that? I have a 1 lakh rupees in my bank account and I want to pay 1,20,000 to my any creditors. Then what? If I am issue that 1,20,000 check to my creditors, and creditors deposited that check into his account, in his bank account, then that check is bounced. Right? And both the parties, that is creditor as well as trader, both the parties has a charges, levy the charges by the bank. So here, if I want to pay more amount than my balance, then first of all I have to request, I have to make an application to the bank to give me a 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees bank overdraft. First of all, I am making an application. I want a request. I have to do the request and make an application for that, and bank apply that, or you can say bank give the permission for the 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees bank overdraft. Then we can do this. Then my check is not bounced. My balance is 1 lakh rupees, but I can pay 1,20,000 or 1,50,000 to any of the person, because I have already applied for this. For 50,000 rupees or for 1 lakh rupees bank overdraft, I already applied, and bank give me this facility. Okay, so here that is called a bank overdraft. As the payment side exceed the total of the receipt side in the bank column of the cash book, this difference is known as bank overdraft. Thus, the bank overdraft means a remaining amount of the total of the credit side after deducting the total debit side of the bank column in the cash book, that is credit balance as per cash book, or bank account is bank overdraft. Bank account is bank overdraft, or you can say credit balance as per cash book. We have seen earlier in that passbook is a copy of a trader account maintained in the books of a bank. It means those transactions which are recorded in the bank account by the trader are recorded by the giving opposite effects in the passbook by the bank. I told you that here in the last point, that is whatever passbook and what is cash book and what is passbook, whatever recorded in the debit side of the cash book, that is recorded on the credit side of the passbook. Whatever recorded on the credit side of the cash book, that is recorded on the debit side of the passbook. That means what? Only we can say the reverse effect done by the one party. Here, if I am recording on the debit side, that is trader, bank recorded on the credit side. Okay. So here only opposite entry or reverse entry. Therefore, bank balance as per passbook means the excess of the total of the credit column that of the debit column is a passbook. It means credit balance as per passbook means bank balance for a trader. Similarly, if the total of the debit column exceed the total of the credit column in a passbook, the difference is known as a bank overdraft. It means the debit balance as per passbook means bank overdraft for the trader. So here, these four items is the starting point of our sum, practical sum. That's why, see, I told you in my last session that I was give you the rules for this chapter. Minimum 8 to 10 rules I was give you here. Okay, on the basis of these 8 to 10 rules, we can do only these sums. Okay, so here you have to remember these all the points, these all the rules. So first rule is now, this 4 point is your first rule. Write down rules regarding bank reconciliation statement. First rule, debit balance as per cash book is equal to bank balance. Debit balance as per cash book is equal to bank balance. Or you can say bank balance as per cash book is equal to debit balance. You can say in a different way like this, or bank balance as per cash book is equal to debit balance. So vice versa, you can remember any of the things. See, one is given, that is debit balance as per cash book. That means you have to remember that is bank balance. Or sometimes in the sums, bank balance as per cash book is given and you have to remember that this is a debit balance. Okay, so this is the first point, that is, or you can say A point. In the first rule, A point. Now B point, credit balance as per cash book is equal to bank overdraft. Or in short, you can write down BOD, that is bank overdraft. Right? Or you can say here bank overdraft as per cash book is equal to credit balance. This is the B point. See, this question will ask by this, you have to remember this. If the question asked by this, you have to remember this. That means debit balance as per cash book is equal to bank balance, or bank balance as per cash book is equal to debit balance. Okay. Now C point. Debit balance as per passbook. Now the word, see, concentrate on this word. Here as per cash book is given. In all 4 point, cash book as per cash book is given. Now the word change. Here the word change as per passbook. Debit balance as per passbook is equal to bank overdraft. That is bank BOD. Or you can say bank overdraft as per passbook is equal to debit balance and the D point credit balance as per passbook is equal to bank balance or bank balance as per passbook is equal to credit balance. So this is the most important rule and this is the starting of the sum. Always we have to start the sum, practical sum, with any of these four. A, B, C, D is given here into the textbook as the starting point of your sum. That's why you have to remember, if debit balance as per cash book is given, that is bank balance. And if the word is changed, bank balance as per cash book is given, that is debit balance. So you have to write down on the debit side. This is the starting point. This is you have to write down on the debit side. This is you have to write down on the credit side. Again write down on the debit side, and this is write down on the credit side. So please remember and write down these all the rules, 4 rules, or you can say this is only first rule. Some 4 rules are there, but it is only one rule. Please write down these 4 rules. Starting point. Any of one is given in the textbook as your starting point of the sum. Not all the 4s. Only one is given. So you have to remember all the 4s. Or you can say, if you have to remember only one and then opposite, you can remember like this also. Okay? But you have to remember first. Compulsory. Write down that. So, in short, the transactions between the business and the bank are transactions between two persons in which rules of personal accounts are applied. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Under this rule, it is become receivable for the one person and the becomes payable for the other person. Right? Receivables has debit balance while payables has credit balance. That we also know, that we also discussed in the trial balance chapter. The receivable always debited and payables always credit balance. Bank balance is receivable for the business, hence it shows the debit balance. The same are payable for the bank and hence it shows the credit balance for the bank. Bank overdraft is payable for the business, hence it shows the credit balance, while it is receivables for the bank, hence it is shows the debit balance as per for the bank. See the table is given for this. See the table, bank balance for the business. It is receivable, therefore shows a debit balance. Bank balance, debit balance for the bank. Bank balance, credit balance. Overdraft as per cash book, bank overdraft, credit balance. Overdraft as per passbook, debit balance. Here it is given into the statement, into the table, and therefore bank balance means debit balance as per cash book, or bank account is equal to credit balance as per passbook. These and these are common. Bank balance as per passbook, debit balance bank balance as per passbook, credit balance. Here cash book, passbook, what is changed? So here debit balance, credit balance is changed. Okay, so bank balance as it is, cash book, passbook, then debit will become credit. Again, bank overdraft, cash book, credit, passbook, debit. Change the name, change the balance. Okay, so this is the point. Please remember this. Please read twice or thrice here, and please remember all these points, because this is the starting point. It is not given debit balance or credit balance. Sometimes this line is not given. So here this line is given, then you have to remember this. Bank balance as per cash book is given, then you have to remember the debit balance. It is a debit balance. On the basis of these four balance you have to remember, and that is the starting point of your sum. So please remember these four rules. Meaning of bank reconciliation statement. See that, first read that, then we will discuss about the meaning of the bank reconciliation statement. Point number 5, please read that first. Now see that meaning of bank reconciliation statement. In normal circumstances, balance as per cash book and passbook should be the same. In normal circumstances, if all the transactions recorded without any mistakes by any of the persons, that is by trader or by the banker, then there is no difference in the balance of as per cash book or as per passbook. Both are same. If at the end of the particular time interval balance of bank account as per bank cash book is compared with the balance as per cash book passbook, okay, but if the difference arise after finding out the reasons thereof, the statement prepared to explain them and to reconcile the balance as per cash book and passbook is known as a bank reconciliation statement. Means that here first of all the balance is not tally. Cash book and passbook balance is not tally. Then first of all find out the reasons. What are the entries in the passbook? What are the entries in the cash book? Just tally it. Which entry is not recorded by which person? Just find out the reason, and then on the basis of that particular reason you have to prepare a statement to find out, to say that these are the mistakes done by a trader or these are the mistakes done by the banker, and that's why the balance is not tally. So you have to prepare this one type of statement to record these reasons why the balance is not tally, and that statement is called a bank reconciliation statement. Okay, so here the meaning is given. Hence it should be noted that even though a balance as per cash book and the balance as per passbook are the same, preparation of bank reconciliation statement is necessary because there remains a possibility that the detail of the transactions in both may differ. See, amount is common. One time 5,000 is not recorded in the cash book, and 5,000 is also not recorded in the passbook, but it is not the same. Here I am not recording, that is trader not recording one transactions of 5,000 on the debit side, as well as the second transactions of 5,000 same amount is not recorded by the bank. Then the amount is tally, then the balance is tally, but here mistakes are there. That's why here we have to prepare the bank reconciliation statement. That means if the balance is tally, then also we have to prepare a bank reconciliation statement to find out the errors. Or first you can say find out all the errors or reasons, or tally it, then prepare the bank reconciliation statement. But it is not specifically said that the balance of cash book as well as the balance of passbook is tally, then there is no mistakes in both the accounts. Maybe it may be the reasons for that, or you can say the transaction details may differ, and for that here we have to prepare the bank reconciliation statement. If any difference is there, we have to write down, we have to prepare this statement. Hence here an important point is that bank reconciliation statement is a statement which explains the difference between the two in detail. Between the two means what? Cash balance, bank balance or bank overdraft as per cash book or as per passbook. Because of the preparation of the bank reconciliation statement, if any accounting errors are committed either by the trader or by the bank, also comes to the notice. Here not perfectly that says that always make the mistake is done by the trader only. Bank may also make a mistakes. Okay, so either of the bank or trader make the mistake, here we can say that we can notice that mistake in this statement. Okay, and then write down that. If any accounting errors are committed either by the trader or bank, also comes to the notice, but it does not rectify these errors. It shows the difference arises because of such errors, but it does not rectify these errors. See here, just we notice the error. Then if we want to rectify these error, then we have to prepare this statement. Okay, bank reconciliation statement means a statement showing the causes of the difference. See this is the main definition. Inverted comma, this statement is given in the inverted comma. That's why we can say that this is the main definition of bank reconciliation statement. Or here in the examinations, if they ask what is the bank reconciliation statement or the definition of bank reconciliation statement, then you have to write down this. So please underline this. Bank reconciliation statement means a statement showing the causes of the difference in the balance of the bank as per cash book and a bank balance as per passbook for a particular time or on a particular date. Not particular time, on particular date also. If the transactions are very high by the trader with the bank in one day, then daily this statement will done. Okay, so not particular time, after particular day also. Here bank reconciliation statement we have to prepare, or the trader has to prepare these bank reconciliation statement. See, keep in mind one point that here there is no any purpose to prepare this statement, and just we have to know the causes for the difference between two balance as per cash book or as per passbook. That's why trader prepare this statement. Bank and other parties are not prepare this statement. Only the trader is prepare this statement to find out, to know the causes of the difference. Okay, see that bank reconciliation statement is prepared by the trader. See, for the certain time or on a date because of the which the difference between balance of the bank as per cash book and the balance as per passbook can be found out, and its causes can be noticed. Whatever the causes are there, why the difference is here as per the passbook or as per the cash book, what are the difference in the balance, here we note the causes or reasons for that, and we have to notice it, and we have to write down that. That's why trader preparing this particular statement. A transactions because of which the difference does not arise between the bank balance as per cash book and bank balance as per passbook is not recorded in the bank reconciliation statement. This is the main point. See, whenever the many more transactions are there between the traders and the bankers, right? But the transactions which are not recorded or which are omitted or in which the mistakes are there, that only recorded in bank reconciliation statement. But the transactions which are correctly recorded by both the parties, that we have to ignore. whatever the transactions recorded correctly by the both the parties, that is bank or by the trader, at this transaction, those transactions are not recorded at all in bank reconciliation statement. Only the transactions which causes the difference, which affects the difference between two balance, that only we have to record in the bank reconciliation statement. In other words, if as per the rules of debit and credit the same amount is recorded in the both the books, it does not becomes a cause of difference, right? Here, if I am recording on the debit side one thing and recording credit side on the one thing, that means here it does not create any problem, right? But if the debit side is only written, credit not written, or credit only written and debit not written, that means what? Here the mistakes are there, here the causes of the difference is there, and that's why we have to prepare bank reconciliation statement. But the same entry done by both the parties, then no problem, not recorded at all in this bank reconciliation statement. Now, okay, so here the fifth point, that is meaning of bank reconciliation statement. Original meaning of bank reconciliation statement is given here and explained here. And then now next point, that is next point is purpose of the preparing bank reconciliation statement and its usefulness or importance. See, this is just for your knowledge, so that's why here first of all read carefully. It is not important for the practical sums, it is just a theory, so please read that. Each point is given for purpose of preparing a bank reconciliation statement, or you can say usefulness, or you can say importance of the bank reconciliation statement is given here. So read it first carefully. 6 point, total 8 point is given in that, so please read that. Purpose of preparing a bank reconciliation statement, and you can say its importance or usefulness. It is just for your knowledge here in the practical sum. This is the practical chapter, and in the practical sum this is not important. So just read that. See, you have to read that and you have to remember that. You have to write down that points also in your example book. Okay, so here I am not explaining you here, this is just for your knowledge only, that's why just read that and write down these 8 point in your example book. See, leave one page, or you can say both the side one page here for the rules, because rules are minimum 8 to 10 rules are there for the bank reconciliation statement, preparation of the bank reconciliation statement, and this is only one rule. Here after that, here we have to write down remaining 8 to 10 rules. That's why please leave 1 or 2 page for these rules and then write down this point here in your exercise book. See, not in your example book. You have to write down this purpose or usefulness or importance of the bank reconciliation statement. This you have to write down in your exercise book. Okay, so please write down that. And now the time for homework. all the MCQs that is in question number 1 and all one line question answers in question number 2. You have to write down these in your exercise book. Means what? Here in the example book you have to write down these first rule and fourth part of first rule. Remember these. Write down these also in your rough book because you have to remember these 2 to 3 times. You have to write down that. And in the exercise book, what you have to write down? In the exercise book, you have to write down the importance or usefulness of bank reconciliation statement 8 point, all the 8 points, as well as question number 1, that is all the MCQs, and question number 2, that is all SQs. 1 mark, one question, one liner question answer you have to write down in your exercise book. Okay, so and in our next session, see that point number 7, read that. Reasons for difference for bank balance between cash book and passbook. That is the reasons is given here, and that reason is our rules. That's why we are on the basis of that reason we are recording the rules to do how to do the sum. Okay, so that is the main point. So you have to read in your homework point number 7 full, all the reasons for difference for bank balance between cash book and passbook. 1 to 12 reasons is given. Other errors, that is the last reason you have to remember. Point number 7 sub point, that is reasons 1 to 12. You have to read these also. That is also your homework. You have to write down exercise 1, 2, that is exercise question number 1 and 2. Then point number 6 you have to write down, and then read this point number 7 sub point reasons 1 to 12. That is your homework. So please do that, and we will discuss all the points as well as practical sums in our next session. Okay, so here I am complete my lecture. So thank you class. Have a nice day. Bye bye.